All right, today we're diving into a service called PopularityBazaar. What is it? How does it claim to work? And does it actually deliver on its promises? Let's break it all down.
Okay, so if you're a creator, you know this struggle, right? You're making awesome stuff, putting it out there, but crickets. Getting those first few likes, those first followers to really get the ball rolling, man, it can feel impossible. It's that classic catch-22. You need people to see your stuff to get engagement, but you need engagement for people to see your stuff. So frustrating.
And that's exactly the problem that a service like PopularityBazaar tries to solve. The whole idea is to help you jump over that first hurdle. Basically, their main job is to deliver engagement. We're talking likes, followers, views, straight to your social media accounts. Now, here's their big promise, the thing they say makes them different in a pretty crowded space. They claim all that engagement comes from real people, not bots. And that is a huge deal, right? Because social media platforms are always on the hunt for fake bot activity. The goal here is to give you a boost that looks organic, you know? It's not supposed to raise any red flags like, say, suddenly getting 10,000 followers with blank profiles would.
And they're not just a one-trick pony. They cover all the big platforms where you're probably trying to grow, from Instagram and TikTok to YouTube, and even community spots like Reddit.
Okay, so that's the what. Now for the how. How does this thing actually work from your perspective? Let's look at the main features they've built in for creators. They really build the whole experience around 4 things. First up is fast delivery, so you're not sitting around wondering what's happening. Then you've got secure payments, which is obviously super important. Third, and this is interesting, is a 90-day refill policy, which is kind of like a guarantee. And finally, they offer 24/7 support in case you need help with anything.
And speaking of payments, they're pretty flexible. Of course, they take all the standard, secure payment types you'd expect, but, and this is a pretty modern touch, they also accept cryptocurrency. So that's an option if you're into that space.
Of course, promises are great, but with services like this, you've got to ask, what's the proof, right? So let's dig into the numbers and the reputation to see if it all holds up.
First thing to look at is how long they've been around. They actually started way back in 2018. And you know, in the world of social media services, that's kind of like a lifetime. It definitely suggests they're doing something right to have stuck around for this long.
Then there's the social proof. What are other people saying? Well, apparently, they've got over 4,000 positive user reviews. That's a lot. It definitely points to a pretty big group of people who've given it a try and had a good experience. Okay, let's circle back to that guarantee I mentioned, the 90-day refill policy. What does that mean? Well, it's basically a safety net. If some of the followers or likes you bought happen to disappear within those first 3 months, they promise to replace them. That shows they're pretty confident in the stability of their network. All right, we've gone through how it works and what people say about it, so let's pull all this together and give you the final verdict, a quick summary of everything you need to know. So here's the deal, boiled down. On the one hand, what's on offer? You get these quick, organic-looking boosts, safe and affordable pricing, and they even throw in some bonus rewards. But, and this is a really big but, you have to remember this is not a magic wand. If your content isn't good, a service like this might bring people to your page, but it won't make them stay. Your content quality is still king. You know, this quote from the source material really nails who this is for. It's positioned as a tool for creators who are already making good stuff, but just can't seem to get that first little push to get the algorithm's attention. It's all about manufacturing that initial momentum. So, the final score? A pretty impressive 4.6 out of 5 stars. And that high rating really just wraps up everything we've talked about. All of those positive reviews, the fact that they've been around for a while, and those features designed to make things easier for creators.
Look, at the end of the day, a service like this is basically offering a potential shortcut to get some early traction. And that leaves you, the creator, with a big question to think about. When you're building your brand from the ground up, is paying for a boost like this the right first step for your strategy?